right, so here you guys are all standing outside. You just had breakfast. It's bright and early. And yeah. So Rictavio and Irina and the three kids are up here in the northernmost part, above the steps to the north. You guys are all down here around the well. As I said, you just had that discussion about, hey, look, I don't know that we've got much choice. I think Octavius was all in with the possibility of tangling with something so sinister. I think that there was some kind of uncertainty from Daddy Douglas. Seth was dead against it. Yeah, interesting kind of little powwow going on there. So, what do you guys want to do today?
Okay, well, I think we determined we were going to take the kids to the orphanage.
There's orphanage first, and then the temple. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so if you're gonna go to the temple with her, then Irina will accompany you to the orphanage. So that will not be a problem. Let's move you guys to the town of Valakiview then. Okay.
Yeah, it would be weird to, because like the kids have had the most interaction with her. It would be weird if she didn't
See them through. Yeah, I feel like her coming along for that part would make sense.
Right.
If not, just letting her go handle it and we tap out.
Well, not a problem. So, the orphanage is kind of down the road here. And, ironically, so is the church. So you're actually going in the same direction anyway. Proverbially gonna kill those two birds with one stone. Alright. So, let's talk a little bit. Now it's daytime, and you're out on the streets for the first time. Let's kind of talk a little bit about how this place feels. So, you know, we've kind of already said that it's significantly larger, way more populated, way more buildings than the little village of Barovia. In fact, Vallaki is quite a large town. In some ways, you could almost borderline it to say it's approaching a small city. As you're wandering down the streets, looking at everybody, you notice a couple of things. First of all, most of them are wearing half-baked smiles. Nobody would be fooled by these smiles. They're all kind of a look where you can see the sadness in their face, but the mouth is curled up. You also notice that the guards are walking around in pairs and are very vigilantly staring and watching everybody, trying to judge their demeanor, their behavior. And as people walk past the guards, they tend to try to sprine themselves up just a little bit more to try to look even more enthusiastic and more happy. But of course, you were also warned that all will be well here in Vallaki. Strahd hasn't set foot in it in 100 years, and they truly believe, or at least the Burgermeister does, that everybody keeping a positive, happy attitude is what stops him coming here, and that is why you have a festival every week. And if you recall, there is such festival that is happening in just a few days' time. We have the Festival of the Blazing Sun. So that's kind of the general feel. There's a lot of people out on the streets. It is not a sparsely populated town at all. There are a lot of people here. So, you know, it takes you a reasonable time to get all the way down the road here and finally get to the orphanage itself. as you kind of like look at the orphanage, it is kind of just set back a little bit off from the road. You've got a few trees kind of dotted around it. It's a bit of a drab kind of looking building, to be honest. But it's like a couple of stories tall, and of a fairly reasonable, ample size to house quite a few children. All right, let me move you to the map that goes with St. Andrew's Orphanage. I'm going to go ahead and get you here. Put all of you on the map. And then once I've done that, I'll move you guys over.
Okay.
Let's see. Alrighty. And you're at the bottom. Okay.
Oh, all the way. Oh, all the way. Okay, I got it.
Yeah, all the way to the bottom. All right,
Keep
yeah.
scrolling.
So there is St. Andrew's Orphanage. As you approach, there's kind of like a little 3-step dais that kind of goes up to the front door. There is a brass bell with a small chain to ring the doorbell hanging off to the left side of the door.
I mean, I think with Octavius being closest to it, he would walk up and give it a little yank.
Okay. You hear, as you're close enough to the door now, you can hear proverbial chaos going on in there. There are a lot of kids by the sounds of it, and there is lots of yelling and hollering and screaming.
Ooh,
And
yes.
you hear a fairly kind of stern voice saying, "Children, you must settle down at once. There's somebody at the door." And then you hear somebody going, "There's somebody at the door. Oh, there's somebody at the door. Oh, there's somebody at the... Shut up!" At which point, this lady flusteredly pushes open the door and pulls it slammed behind her, just as you kind of catch a glimpse of a small pair of hands that look like they're about to try to reach out and come out with her. The woman standing in front of you is a shrewd-looking woman in her early 50s. She is clearly frazzled. Her hair is kind of a little bit, a little bit of fried. She's got grey streaks in her brown hair. An attempt was made to kind of pull it up into a tight bun, but it's kind of half hanging out now at this point. And she is definitely looking a little bit kind of stressed. Let's just put it that way. She looks at you and she says, "I am so sorry. There is an awful lot of commotions this morning. The children were not impressed with this morning's offering for breakfast. Can I help you? Oh, perhaps you've come to adopt. Please. We have a...
I'm gonna stop you right there. I apologize. Children, and I'm gonna like wave back to the kids behind us.
Okay, still kind of
come.
clinging to Irina. They will kind of march up and form an orderly little line here. And Irina is kind of like, "Don't be shy, children. Come, come." And she's kind of like herding them towards you. Okay, the headmistress kind of looks at you and she says, "You're dropping off, aren't you? Not picking up."
That is correct. We rescued these 3 children not far outside of your town. Apparently their parents all sold them, and we're not quite
Sold
sure what to
them?
do with them.
Well, we do have plenty of room. I am the headmistress here, Claudia Belasco. It is a pleasure to meet you. Do you happen to have the children's names?
I only know them as subject A, B, and C. Does anybody else have their names?
I'm sure we've gotten them at some point, right? That would have been rude not to ask this whole time.
Well, apparently it was rude because nobody asked.
Irina knows. She takes care of everything for us. She's
Um,
our D&D mommy, and she
Yeah.
knows their birthdays and their social security numbers.
right. Irina will kind of crouch
Irina,
down
sorry.
to the three
Irina,
children
sorry.
and say,
Irina.
"Now then, you are going to stay here with this nice lady until we find a way to get you back to where you should stay, where you belong." And she looks very awkward as she says that, because, like, clearly she doesn't want to say, "Oh, we're going to get you back to your parents," knowing full well that they sold them, or at least two of them were sold. We don't really know about the third. But she will put her arms around the children and escort them over. And then Irina kind of turns around and she looks at Douglas and she says, I am not one for taking care of children other than the obvious instinct to keep them safe on the road. Is there anything you should perhaps ask to find out if the children will be well kept and properly taken care of here?
Yes, of course. Let me just do a little. I did this for the preschool with the kids. Give me a second here. And I'm gonna walk up to her and just kind of put myself between her and the kids so that she can kind of talk to me quietly and just say, they've been under our care for a little bit here, so we've gone
Hey,
pretty-
well, somebody kindly just gifted a sub. So
thank you.
whoever gifted it,
Anonymous.
thank you so much.
Oh.
Because you didn't say who. And if you were the one that got it, don't forget to say thank you because it's the nice thing to do.
Yes, it is.
That's awesome.
Alrighty. There we go. Welcome to the family. Awesome. Okay.
Yeah, so we've grown pretty fond of them on the road here. So we just want to make sure we know that they're going to be well cared for at this establishment. What kind of meal plans do you offer for the children? What kind of diet are they expected to consume here?
Well, we try to make sure that they have the majority of all the food groups, some grains and some bread and some dairy, and of course, delicious meats, mostly chicken and sometimes wolf. And we try to...
Veggies?
Sorry?
Veggies?
Oh, of course, vegetables, yes. Oh,
Okay.
oh, absolutely.
Making sure they get the
Must
fresh
get their
veggies.
greens. Oh, no, we have to make sure they get the greens.
Okay.
And obviously, we try to have 3 meals a day, a good hearty breakfast to start the day out.
Okay.
Then which usually consists of mostly eggs, but sometimes some bacon, sometimes some sausage. And then for lunch, quite often, we will have wurst, or even more wurst, or versa still. Sorry.
That's a good one.
We or sandwich or whatever, and sometimes for supper, one of my favorites that our chef makes is a delicious schnitzel. Beautiful schnitzel with some. If we can talk the woodsman into bringing some back, we like to add some mushrooms.
Okay, that's great.
So yes, we make sure that they are well taken care of with the food,
Okay.
and to have ample room.
And beds for each of them? A nice, comfy, warm bed?
Yes, sometimes the smaller children have to share a bed because, there are quite a few children here lately, but,
Oh, I thought you said you had plenty of room. So
we have plenty of room. There is a large building, and currently there are, let me see, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. I think there are 12 children here currently.
You think there's you don't have like a roster to make sure you don't lose any of them?
My
You don't have like a
My good sir,
roll
all I
call?
can tell you is it has been quite the morning. I am a little bit besides
course.
myself. But if you give me a moment, I will think more.
No, that's okay. I just want to make sure you're on top of that. And then as far as playtime for the children, do they get a lot of exercise?
We
Do
have
they get
we have
outdoors?
an ample garden, a fenced-in area out the back.
You know, kids, I think we should tour the grounds and maybe check out the playground area. Make
Dad,
sure
this
it's.
is embarrassing.
Are you what? You wanted me to check and make sure they're well cared
It's
for?
not like we could take them anywhere else.
Do you need reassurance quickly
Well,
that we can go about our business?
So
I just want to make
so
sure
there are
that we're not gonna miss.
13 small children, 2 babies, and there are 3 children that are of a little bit more mature. They are teenagers.
Okay, and what's your adoption rate?
Let us just say that
I'm sorry, but you don't need to answer that
Well,
ridiculous
of course she
question.
does. We got to know what kind of numbers they're working with here. How much in and out? If she's only got so many beds, as
Doug.
you heard.
Doug,
What?
do you remember where we are?
Of course I do, but these are children.
Who's adopting these? Come on.
I just want to make sure the children are well cared for. That's a very reasonable thing. You know.
Are you
out
casting?
of defiance, out of defiance and kind of anger at my father for continuing this conversation this way, I am dropping Zone of Truth.
On all of us.
On all of
On-
this.
On everyone.
I mean, it's a 15-foot radius, so
It's gonna be the whole doorway, I'm sure.
Oh
Yeah.
no.
Oh God, Gemma's there.
Oh, gee, yeah, thanks.
Okay, so I guess we all. Need to
Yeah,
make-
no, that's everybody.
yeah,
Yeah,
that's
it's
everybody.
gonna be
You've got them
everybody.
all.
So we got a charisma.
Even the
thing?
dog is going to look guilty when questioned.
Yeah.
All right,
It's a DC
so it's a
15,
DC
baby.
15 if you intend to potentially try to fib.
Ooh,
Nice.
Okay,
Oh no.
Hold on.
No, I forgot to change my name.
Sorry, guys. Would I be doing whatever it is we're doing?
Well,
Charisma saving throw.
Sorry,
If
it's
you don't
work,
say
I
anything,
apologize.
it's not going to hurt you, right?
I think
Okay.
you would be, but you don't have to. I think you
I
would
don't-
be
okay.
not invested in this conversation.
Okay.
Unless
Yeah.
you want to.
No, sorry. It's really important work text. I apologize,
fine.
guys.
No, it's okay.
You're okay.
So one question I've got for you. How does your zone of truth, prior to coming to Barovia, what did your zone of truth look like? How did it operate? How did it work? Because as you know, anybody that's affected by the spell is aware.
Yeah.
So is it something visible? Do they feel a weird tingling?
There,
Do they
there
have
is there is a sense about it where it kind of like, you know, when you overdo the caffeine and then like instead of being like energetic, you're like out of it.
Mm.
Like there's like a little bit of that sense to it,
It's a
but
little bit of
it
kind of
starts,
brain fog
yeah.
kicking in?
And
Feeling
I like
a
to just
little
I
loopy?
set it off with like a little bit of a hum, and then there's like a kind of like I guess on the radius of it, there's a light glow of where like the edge would be, just a little bit.
Like a heat wave.
Yeah. It's like it's
Okay.
shimmering a little. Yeah, kind of like when you have the grill on and you're looking past something.
Yes.
The little heat. Yeah,
They get.
good way to put it.
Gotcha.
I like that.
Okay. All right. So, yeah.
So yeah, that's
Everybody
down in-
except, arguably yourself and Shaggy. I suppose I
yeah.
ought to roll for Irina as well
but
because
I'm
she
just
is there.
I'm gonna put that down. Then I'm sure Douglas, you'd just be like, "Oh, not this again."
Oh, hang on. That's a
Yeah,
it
I
wouldn't
can-
mattered anyway. So it's a charisma-based save, but
I know what's happening to me.
Oh
okay.
God, I need to be really careful, kind of thing. Yeah.
Look,
And I'm just gonna be like from the back. I'm gonna be like, "Are the children here generally in good, safe hands?"
because I feel guilty that I can't take them to myself.
Sometimes children will be children, and sometimes they fight and fall out, but
There's nothing wrong with
they are
that.
safe. I do the best I can to make sure that they are kept safe. They are not allowed to wander off by themselves.
If I can't take one, why can't I take all three?
But
I'm already raising so many kids; they're almost grown.
somewhat rather strange at the moment.
Yes, I
Sorry,
feel
guys.
a spell's
Sorry.
been cast
Look,
on us.
yeah.
It was just to very much clear up your situation here. We wanted to be sure it was an honest establishment. I have certain talents that allow me to discern that. I apologize
Yeah.
for not being upfront.
I'm gonna like swing my arm behind me to hit Trip kind of in the midsection gently.
Yeah.
Like shut up.
Yeah,
you know?
your gentle punch. I just go. Poof!
He does it when we go bar hopping in Arconis. It's a way to extract stories to add to his musical collection.
That and to make sure nobody's
I
trying to
see.
cheat the fight or pocketing a knife, you know.
Yes.
Well, to answer the good sir's question from earlier, I'm afraid that it is significantly more common for them to be checked in than out. It has been many years since we had a child adopted.
I don't really care about that.
You're not going to eat them, are you?
Eat them? Good
Yeah.
gracious me, no.
Okay. I just want to make sure they're safe because I wish I could care for them.
Doug.
If you love children so much, we are always looking for patrons and people to assist. Perhaps you would like to help.
No, thank you.
I could offer you a job.
Dad, say no to that. There's no way.
No,
We have
if
a
you
very
should you
important
change your
task at
mind.
hand.
But I'll think about them always.
Well,
You know, if anything were to happen to us, I hope that Dad would come here. It'd be at least something for him to do. Oh shit! It got me too.
Oh.
Unfortunately, they'll all never see their parents again. I'm sorry, kids, but it's true.
Gemma.
They
Oh,
didn't.
they're all just kind of
Please.
looking very bewildered and
maybe
lost
we
at this
can-
moment.
Take a cup, maybe.
None of them wanted you.
This will be fun though. Hey kids, what are your
Oh.
favorite colors?
No.
Black.
I didn't ask you, but I know.
If you you could just ask the kids.
yeah, it's just fun for me.
Yeah, the little girl. Okay, the little girl says orange, and both the boys say red.
Lame.
Suck.
Those are the worst favorite colors I've ever heard.
You're bad children for liking those colors.
I think I can honestly say, and I pause for a second to make sure I can do it, they will be safer with you.
Well, I suppose, now, it is customary that when somebody is dropped off here at the orphanage, that whoever drops them off, quite often they like to, donate something to help with the well-being of the small children in the short term.
Of course. Gemma, do we have some?
Yes,
What's the usual gift amount?
Well, of course it varies, but, probably perhaps, 10 copper pieces, or maybe even as much as 20 copper pieces per child.
Yeah,
We'll
I'm
triple it.
asking. Yeah, I'm asking because I was afraid of that specifically happening. You see, he's very soft and likes to give as much as he can to every cause
Right.
possible.
How much?
And it does not benefit us as we are in quite dire straits if we dump all of our money on something like this. But it,
If
is
you're
kind of a
feeling
noble
generous
cause. I'm
and
not
like
against.
to double it, 60 copper pieces for the 3 children would be most generous.
How much to where you won't bother us about this ever again?
I'm sitting
Well,
on
once the
silver
children
pieces. I
are
could
in
just
my
shut this up.
charge, I don't see any reason to come looking for you.
I'm gonna take out 2 gold pieces.
Okay.
That's plenty. Yes?
Yes, it is plenty. That is way too much.
Well, very
I handle the
generous.
finances. I know how much we have. We're fine.
Very, very kind of you. Very kind indeed. Oh, thank you.
This
Come
will
along,
ensure
children.
nobody
let's
will
get you inside
bother us
now.
when they're sick, right?
No. This is all our problem. We take care of the children here from here on out.
Great.
And you do that well without killing them.
As well as we can, and I have yet to kill a child under my care yet.
I'm gonna place 2 comforting hands on Douglas's shoulders to try
I'm
to
very tense.
urge him back.
She ushers
Kind
the
of like
two
start
kids
pulling him
in.
back.
Please turn this off, Trip. Please.
Hold on, one more question. Would you also be willing to take him? And I'm pointing at Octavius.
No!
What?
No, my boy!
If
That's
a
he
hilarious
is
idea,
in need
Trip.
of a home,
I do
am
not
No!
want-
I would.
He's mine. I got him.
No, I'm
I
kidding.
already
I
adopted
love you
him.
guys.
You're
I love
so
you guys. I love
funny.
you guys.
I
You
do
can
know what
still
to
tell
go.
jokes in his zone of truth, guys. You can still do that. And I'm going to drop it.
Oh,
Okay.
my God.
Yes, let's go, everybody.
Now I can go.
Now.
Thank you once again for the kind donation. I will do my utmost to look after these children.
I'm not sure if that one was true because I did drop the spell, but I trust her.
She wanders back in and shuts the door.
Thank you. Great. Now I can go back to being my dishonest self.
Now I can go back to filling the air with lies.
As the door closes, I just want to say, I just had a quick thought. Now it might be nothing, but
Okay.
well, looking at my card, looking at Seth's card, we're trying to find a wandering child
Yeah.
who's left her home.
Well, I mean,
do you think they could? I wonder if this place is dark in there. If there's some wandering child inside.
Wait, Gemma, wait. Let me get this straight. We had 3 wandering lost children in our possession, and
They
I
weren't
mentioned
the
it.
ones, though.
And you said they weren't the ones. But now we are at an orphanage,
Yes.
and they might be in there.
Well, I don't know if there's dark halls in there or not, but there could be.
Well, there were dark halls in the were they? No, there was circular stairs.
No halls.
There, no halls.
You know, she does have a point. This is
But now the 3 that you say were not them are in there, so maybe that they were them because now they're in the dark halls.
Well, now that she's blown the family money, I think we are considered higher end patrons of this place. I'm sure she wouldn't mind a visitation later.
so now we can tour the grounds. Okay, I
I'm
understand.
sure we can, but first we have more pressing matters, like the entire reason we're here.
Isn't that one of the reasons we're here?
Well, yeah, sure, dropping off the kids, but that was like an accident on the
Right.
way that happened.
But no, finding
I'm just gonna,
finding my card so I don't
Right,
have to
but
think about children.
We
'cause
have a
it's
better
weird.
lead on another card, so I think we should leave this one for
Okay.
next.
Well, these children are not going anywhere apparently, which is heartbreaking. So I think we can come back and find them and check to see if any of them wander the halls later.
I mean, if we kill Strahd, maybe we'll can get all of those kids out.
Seth,
What?
you can't say that here. Remember?
Oh yeah.
And I'm gonna gesture to smile.
Remember, that's the
The
no-no
devil,
word. We
the
don't
devil,
actually
yeah, you don't,
say
you don't.
his name.
I
Roll
mean,
for random guard.
Oh,
all right, let's
No, it's okay.
no,
you
shut
stupid.
it.
Less than 20, right? Less than
Oh my
20.
God.
Oh shit.
Now we have to break you out of jail instead.
Yeah.
No,
There's a child in jail though, so
okay.
Is he in the dark hall?
That would be
Yeah, it's
cool.
jail.
All right. Well, back down the road a little bit, you can travel down to St. Andrew's Church. This kind of slouching, centuries-old stone church has a bulging steeple at the back and walls lined with cracks, stained glass windows depicting pious saints. A fence of wrought iron encloses the gravesite and the gravestones of the cemetery. And there's kind of like a very thin, eerie mist still lingering a little in amongst the gravestones themselves this early in the morning. Obviously, this church is to, you guessed it, the Morning Lord. And named after somebody called St. Andrew, apparently. But beyond that, you don't know a whole lot about this place. The doors are open, and glancing through down a small hallway, you can see a large, open kind of cloister area with rows and rows of pews. and quite a few people already in there saying their morning prayers. At the far end, standing behind a small plinth and dais, you can see a priest kind of dressed in familiar-looking garb, much like the priest that you saw back in the village of Barovia. And he's just raising his hands and just finishing a sermon as you hear him say, "And praise the morning glory for this beautiful, beautiful day. And praise all of you." And then in unison, all of the others say, "And praise you." And at that point, several of them start getting up and filing towards the door as you're walking forward. Most of these seem to actually be, dare I say, smiling with a little legitimacy. Not quite the same as the rest of them that you've seen wandering the streets with their false visages of attempts at mediocre happiness. They kind of file past you, a few of them politely nod. And then there's just a handful of them left inside. And the priest up at the end, you see him kind of closing a big, thick, leather-bound book and tucking it under his arm and stepping down from his dais.
Okay, I think we all walk down the aisle towards him.
Okay. You wander down. He catches your eye and he says, "Welcome. Welcome to the Church of St. Andrel. Raised in the glory of the morning Lord. I am Father Lucian Petrovich. It is a pleasure to welcome you to Verlaki and more importantly to our blessed church. Blessings of the morning Lord be upon you."
Yes, blessings. The morning, Lord, upon you too.
What blessings, blessings.
I'm gonna back out because I don't want to be the one talking here, so I bow out behind my dad.
Okay.
I'm gonna kind of look at Irene,
She kind of, okay, she'll walk up and do a half curtsy and introduce herself. And she kind of gives him a very brief, I'm from the village of Barovia. My late father was the Burgermeister. I have been sent here for my own safety and, in particular, to avoid the unwanted potential attentions of the devil himself. And this being a church would seem to be the most opportune place because this is, sanctified ground. Anybody that's kind of paying attention, listening in on this, go ahead if you will and give me a perception check.
It should be noted that with my feet, I can read lips.
Okay.
Ooh, what's the feat?
Perceptive.
Oh, sweet.
extra perceptive.
Yeah, nothing has been said quietly or so.
It also increases my passive perception to 21. But
Then you don't need to roll, but you can if you want.
that's okay for this one. I want to hear.
Okay. So Douglas, Octavius, Trip. You notice he seems to become slightly uncomfortable when she starts talking about it being sanctified and holy ground. He's like, "Well, we have good strong walls and a good sturdy door. You will be quite safe here. Indeed, many people, once the moon begins to rise, like to come here and spend their evenings here at the church. For it is indeed a very sturdy and safe building."
I don't know if I buy that.
I mean, it's a stone church, and the wall and the doors were two big double oak doors, so it's a fair I mean, stained glass windows are not that hard to get through, but for the most part. He says, anyway, by all means, you're welcome to stay here as long as you like. She turns around and looks at you and says, well, you've had to get me this far, and you have done that, so you are in my debt. I am indebted to you for escorting me this entire way. I'm sure my brother will be deeply happy that you have done so.
One second, Irina. Excuse me, what kind of meals do you serve here? I want to make sure she's going to be in good care.
Well, generally I am, there are not, not many of us that actually, I'm the only priest, and I eat a very simple and, rather bland diet of just, bread, sometimes some cheese, and gruel. But of course she is free to wander the streets and, can go down to the inn and, the marketplace and get food of whatever kind. But we do not have the luxury of having somebody that cooks for us regularly. After all, this is a church, not a hostel.
Okay. I'm going to kind of pull Irina aside and be like, so you're okay here? You're going to be all right?
I suppose. The main reason that my brother wanted me to come here was the fact that Valaki has not seen the devil's presence for over 100 years, and the church of all things, being that it is to, the morning lord and sacred ground, is most likely to keep himself from trying to visit, as it were. Once again, those of you that noticed before, when she says the sacred ground part, he immediately looks away and starts to brush a pew, like, awkwardly.
I'm gonna, at that point, kind of like nudge over and be like, "Yeah, we know to this item." So I don't believe this church is actually consecrated. I do believe it is a safer place for you. However, I don't think it's necessarily the safe bastion we may have been hoping for. We are going to continue our search to the winery. Do keep your wits about you, and as I do feel some sense of responsibility after all of the fights we've shared.
Why would you think that it is not a consecrated church?
Every time we bring it up, he looks terribly uncomfortable.
It's true, he does.
Maybe he's just like constipated or something.
Only specifically when we say...
Trip, why don't you do your little trick on him? And we can ask him outright.
Oh, I can only do that so many times in a day, and we were about to go leave the walls.
Okay, well, I guess we'll just have to take him for his word.
And also, I don't want to alienate the person who we're leaving our charge with, you know?
Fine with the children.
Strange.
Octavius.
Yes.
Is there any way you could test to see if it's what he said, that word that I can't pronounce?
You mean the word consecrated?
Sure, yeah, concentrated.
Constipated.
Close enough.
Constipated.
No, that would be more of a holy man's bag of tricks, not so much mine. I do not sense evil as much as I eradicate it.
Does also make sense, being that this is the devil's domain. It's probably quite difficult to get, some of that consecratorial juice out of the sun, You can't even see it.
Sounds interesting.
I don't know, they always flick it on people back home.
So there's nothing we could do, huh?
It's the best bet we have, but also, I'm just saying, keep your wits about you, because it's not necessarily. Well, it is safer. I'm not sure it's quite safe.
Well, they said he's not been here in a long time, so even if it's not, he won't come, right?
When he finds out that she's here, he might.
Well, who's gonna tell him?
And then I'm gonna like look on the ground and like stomp on a bug. Have you not been paying any attention at all?
Right. Okay. I guess this is the best we've got, so we'll just work quickly.
Kind of listening to your conversation, and you can tell that Irina is starting to get a little bit concerned, and she turns on her nobility voice, and she says, "You there, Father Petrovich. Why do you seem so strange? My friends and acquaintances says that every time there's a discussion about the consecration of the ground, you seem to act rather out of sorts." No, not at all. It is indeed the Church of St. Andrew, and as I have said, very, very sturdy and secure building. She's kind of like...
You just dodged the question altogether there, didn't you?
Yeah, the building is strong, but is it concentrated? Wait, what was it?
Concentrated, constipated. One of those words that ends in aided.
Conflated. No. I suspect with...
And he kind of
Yeah,
like
of course,
beckons you to the back
Yep.
of the church, away from everybody else.
Yep, follow.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Well, until very recently, it was indeed concentrated, as you say. The word is consecrated, but
Consummated. Got it. Okay.
Oh, God.
But you see, here in the church rested the bones of Saint Andrew himself, holy relics of the long deceased saint. But here, very recently, the bones, they has been stolen. Somebody has stolen the bones of St. Andrew. And with the bones not being here, I'm afraid that the exact level of consecration of the church grounds is somewhat in question.
Do you know who stole these bones?
I do not know precisely, no. Now, you see, there is a young boy that works for me. His name is Yiska. And he seemed very uneasy when we discovered that the bones were missing. I do not believe the boy stole the bones, but somebody had broken into the church and removed them. Now, until recently, other than myself, only Yeska knew that the bones of St. Andrew were even here. It was something that we kept very secret for this exact reason. After all, in a fear-loving place such as this, any charlatan might try to steal the bones of a saint to sell off a pinky or a toe or something like that for a good luck charm. So I asked Yeska if he had told anybody else about the bones. He nodded, but he would not divulge the name. And the boy is obviously terrified. And I did not wish to go to the authorities because, quite frankly, I don't want the burgomaster to know that the bones were here.
Did possible that he couldn't say the name because you can't say the name?
I do not know. Quite honestly, it's clear to me that the boy is absolutely terrified to reveal any information that he knows.
Where is this boy now?
I must confess, this last couple of days I have not seen him. Has not come to the church like he normally does.
Is it normal for this little thief to not come into work? Was it a no-call, no-show situation, or did he give you some sort of a letter saying he'd be sick?
No, he just did not come in after I confronted him and tried to get him to tell me what had happened.
Terrible work ethic. Do you perhaps know where this boy resides? We might be able to go pay him a visit, make a house call, if you will.
He is known to frequent the orphanage from time to time and beg around in the streets.
Can you describe this boy so we may pick him out of a crowd?
Yeah, certainly. Yeska is, I suppose he is a young teenage boy. He has short, dark hair. Rather scrawny little fellow. And, the clothes on his back are very torn and tattered. But, as I said, I have to keep this quiet because I do not want to disrupt the festival in 3 days because, anybody that, should take concern at this might, bring about some unrest and, you know the law here in, Valaki about, not being happy. You know, I'm sure it will all, come to light at some point. After all will be well, sooner or later.
Quite. Well, I'll turn to the rest of my family. Looks like we need to find this little charlatan, bring him to justice and see what he has to say for himself. There are ways of making him talk.
There are ways of making you talk.
Octavius.
Like, maybe he'll just talk to you since you're also a little boy.
That's what I meant. What did you think I mean?
That's what I was hoping you meant.
And I was thinking like torture.
No, we're not going to torture a little boy.
See, he says these things. It sounds like that, but you should know by now what he actually means.
It's all in the delivery, Octavius. So I don't know if that's what your goal is,
Like,
but
the
it's always
other-
spooky.
yeah.
Whatever you say is always
the
spooky.
other day he was eating a hunk of meat and he's just like, yes, the spoils of my bountiful, you know.
I caught a chipmunk and I was excited. I sometimes overindulge.
And we like that about you. We really do. It's just sometimes it sounds like maybe you're saying something you're not saying, and it does confuse some of us who might not be so wary.
I see.
So, we're going to
Gotta
the
mind your
orphanage, aren't we?
audience.
Right.
Back to the orphanage, I guess.
Yes.
What do you have to deal with this?
Or we just wander the streets looking for a little scrawny boy.
Well, don't we need our deliverance of the package to be safe?
Well, this is the safest she'll be until we get the bones, I guess. Right?
I was talking to Gemma. She asked if we actually had to deal with this.
Yes, of course we have to.
Well, our objective was to get her here.
Well, but
Uh,
she
yeah,
won't.
the-
Am I wrong?
Well, no, you're not incorrect as to the scope, however, was with the implication of her safety, which there was an assumption that to this end, this would be that.
I understand what you're saying, brother, but I
Yes,
don't
yes.
live on assumptions. I just
What
Do
if
what's
this is?
within the scope of the work.
Wait
Right,
a second.
right.
What if this is the wandering child we need to find? Maybe
It could
this
be.
is it.
That's a possibility.
And if he's wandering halls, looking around, maybe that's the one. So we got another clue, right?
Nice one, Dad.
Yeah, I was going to say that was well done. Gemma can't resist things like this.
Just saying.
You got her.
we gotta explore the clues, right, Gemma?
Can't say I'm not interested.
Okay, there we go. Good girl.
Facts have proven you correct.
So we'll do that. Irina, you just take
Let's make
care.
it like a family scavenger hunt.
Yes.
I
exactly.
do like that the one thing that does best you, Gemma, is your need to never be bested.
Can't leave a checklist unchecked. Okay,
Lawrence?
Irina, you just take care, I guess, for now, and we'll be back with some bones.
He says, well, if you are going to assist me, that would be most generous of you. And I'm sure that it would gain the favor of the Morning Lord. But I must ask that you keep your investigation discreet. After all, we do not need all and sundry knowing that the bones of St. Andrel were kept safely locked away in this church for this entire 100 years or so.
Okay, understood.
Is writing a song about it discreet?
What if we change
Not
the name?
if he sings a song and tells the song to other people. No, that is
That's
not
also very
discreet.
vague. That's also very vague. You can be discreet in talking about things without, you just use a metaphor. As
Let's
if
change the
say
name.
something
Just
and
say Saint Mandrew instead. They'll never
No,
know.
that would
Never
simply
guess.
not ever
Never
work at
figure
all.
that out.
I don't think that
that's
they
not
would know.
That's not what I was referring to. No,
Okay, well,
I'm
just
not
wanna
giving an
get in.
example, but yes, you can be discreet that way still. Not that I'm going to. I'm not doing it right now in my head or anything.
Of course not. Okay, so be discreet. Find the little boy. Get the bones.
Yes.
The bones were. But sorry.
Thank you, Jane. Okay. We'll be back soon. I think. I hope.
Okay.
Out of
As,
there.
as we leave, I just look to Trip and say, what does consummated mean?
Well, you see, when two people like each other a lot, they go and get themselves married at the
Another
local
type
tavern,
of bones.
and then
Gemma! So who taught Trip? Did you?
It was Trip.
it was
What-
me. It was me.
What other
Sorry.
type of bones are there?
Nothing. And I'm gonna slap my ears over
Bone
my
and-
hands over his ears. Shh, don't.
I'm just gonna signal to him, just like.
Sorry, Dad. Sorry, Dad.
I thought you were gonna signal to him like that.
Yeah, I did too.
No, I would never. I wouldn't do that in front of my dad. That's weird.
Yeah, don't. Let's just keep it. We're in a church, kids. Please.
Yes.
Jeez.
Well, apparently we're not in a church because it's not.
Hey. You keep saying things loud, Seth.
That's what I'm used to doing. I mean, I
I
don't
know.
keep secrets.
Just
I
discreet.
punch 'em.
Remember? Discreet.
I've learned to lean on that to pick fights. You say something loud, they go, "What does he mean by that?" And I'm just like, "Well, he means that your wife is stupid." And then they go, "Ah."
Yes, those are my most favorite instigation things.
Yeah, exactly. It's great, but this isn't the time. We don't want to.
Fair enough.
Fighting
To the
clergy.
orphanage.
We're not fighting the clergy.
All right, let's go back to the orphanage.
Okay. Well, let's do that then.
Of course, like, God damn it.
We were just there.
Go, just leave.
No,
I prepared
Why do
the
you have
library
to
for you,
enjoy
you
the game?
bastards.
I'm too scared to go outside. I don't want to.
Alrighty. Let's go down here once again. And we'll get you out of the map because you're not here anymore. Okay. So yeah, back to Madame Belasco's orphanage. Okay. You arrive outside once again of a very familiar door that you've only just recently left.
This is very annoying. We should probably just ask her if he's been around. We should probably just ask.
Yeah, that should help.
I don't want to pry or anything.
She seems very busy, so let's not try to take up too much of her time.
That and not a single bit of her demeanor changed under a spell, so unless the spell didn't work and she's secretly like some kind of evil hag who, can't be the victim of spells and
I hope not.
All right.
She's busy packaging up the children to have them sent to the windmill as we speak. Okay.
I'll give a big knock on the door again then.
All right. You hear, "Oh, for pity's sake! I'm coming!"
Take your time.
Oh,
it's okay.
it is you again.
Yes, hi.
Perhaps found some more children to burden me with?
Actually, we were hoping maybe you.
Speaking of finding children, yeah.
Yeah,
we're actually looking to find more children.
I have plenty. You may have as many as you wish.
we just want one specific one to.
Have you seen Easkill, right?
Yes, have you seen a child with any bones lately?
Any
Careful.
bones?
Discreet.
No.
Discreet.
Sorry. I didn't say whose bones.
What a strange question.
No, yeah, children with his own bones,
I meant dice. Like rolling them bones.
Oh yeah.
Oh,
yeah,
stem bones, dry bones. Yes, I
That's
understand.
the
That's a hip old lady.
We right, guys?
This is not one of the toys that the children have.
Fair enough.
No, you said you're looking for a child. Are you looking for a girl or a boy? And what sort of age are you looking for? As I said, we have a couple of babies. One of each.
Sorry. We're leaving the wrong impression again. There's a particular chap rolling around town. He usually begs around here, right? As we've heard. I think his name was Yaskil. Have you seen him around at all lately? Yaskar, yes.
Yes, Yaskar is here.
Oh.
At least I think he was. He was here at breakfast time.
You already have one. Can we see it?
He says I've already got one. She says, yes, why don't you come in? Come in.
New map.
And she will invite you into the foyer.
Oh, that's very dark.
Yeah, I haven't gotta do the thing. Okay, so yeah, the front hallway is basically wood paneled and dimly lit. The floors are kind of old and worn. And there's like steps to a main staircase that have clearly like sagged with age. There is a pile of children's shoes, kind of like by the western wall. There's a double door immediately to your right. You can see there are two singular doors on the left wall. And then one kind of further down the hall behind the stairwell. She says, and you see like a couple of kids have like emerged and peered round to look at you as you've come in. She says, now, before we create a disturbance, what exactly are you looking for Yeska for? Has he done something? Is he in trouble?
Most likely not. It's just some members of the clergy have talked with him about some things, and we just
I hope
need
it is not time to get out Mr. Vippy.
No, I don't think it's time.
I also detest using Mr. Vippy, but there are occasions when it is necessary.
We all detest using Mr. Whippy, and
As I said,
I don't think we're going to need
spare the
Mr.
rod
Whippy.
and spoil the child.
Nope, I don't want to think about it anymore.
Oh boy, I forgot to ask that one very, very important question.
Do you believe in corporal punishment? Ah, yes.
I want to pat Trip on the shoulder and be like, Mr. Whippy's not only just for kids.
Seth, please! What is happening? We're in an orphanage.
What? They're too far. They couldn't hear what I said. I mean,
I hear what you said. Everyone, my children, please.
oh, they're old enough. I mean,
Just the one, not the rest.
I don't get it.
Good.
I'll explain later, just so Dad's
No.
mad, but
You're not going
Um,
to explain
I
anything.
love to explain things.
Please don't explain Mr.
No,
Whippy
I love
to
explaining.
my daughter. Please.
Well, if he doesn't hear it from me, she's going to be terribly surprised later.
Let her find it on her own time. Golly. Mother's going to kill
Because
me.
you're never going to have a talk with her.
Not about that.
all right. Look, kids, and I'm gonna shout to the kids down the hall. Where's Yeska? Where is Yeska?
Well, again, I need a little bit more information before I...
We were sent by the church to check on him because he didn't show up for work. So
Oh.
we just wanted to make sure he's okay and do a well check on him. Just
I see.
know,
Well, just
like-
remember, this is an orphanage. There are lots of children here. So please, just bear that in mind. Of course, you are a father, yes. So,
yes.
you are all brothers and sisters. You are used to being around each other. So, if you will, follow me. And she kind of walks,
Great.
into this, through this doorway here.
I'm
And
gonna whisper to Seth real quick as we're walking in. Go. Make sure you look down every hall, okay?
and let me go ahead and reveal this.
Oh yeah, lost children. But are they lost if they?
They all left home, so any one of them could be it. So just look down every hall.
So how will I know if I see one down a hall that it'll be the one that we're looking for?
It's a dark hall. I think we need a dark hall.
Oh,
Right?
Right.
So
She's like,
check those.
come on in.
sure, okay.
Quickly now, come along. Okay. So she leads you into this very large room. This looks like the main living area. There's an old couch, a few mismatched stuffed chairs, chests crammed with kind of drab wooden toys, two small dining tables surrounded by chairs are kind of littered in the northern part of the room. There are three girls crowded around a dollhouse in this southern corner. An older boy paces the room with a toddler on each of his hips as he's trying to calm them down because they're squalling their eyes out. Another boy and a girl are playing a game of tag and chasing each other around the furniture. An older girl sits on the couch and reads aloud to four younger children gathered around her. The whole room is a den of chaos and noise being generated by a small group of kids. This is kind of where the bulk of the children hang out. You can see a couple of little girls that are playing with the dollhouse, as I said. Let's see, where is everybody? Okay. So she says, attention, children, please, we have some visitors. She says, have you seen Yeska? And then one of the kind of kids points to where Seth is standing. And then, like, emerging out from behind Seth's looming body, you see a small, scrawny, dark-haired boy. Kind of, like, look out with a very kind of sheepish and pale look on his face.
They're in the walls.
I'm gonna turn to him and be like, "Hey."
He kind of looks up at you with a very scared look on his face. He says, I don't know you, mister.
I'm gonna hold out my arm and put it lower to the ground and say, "Want to go for a ride? I could lift you up."
Oh, Jesus.
Like a little, you put your arms like a pull up, and then I lift you.
No.
I'm quite fine. And he takes a few steps away from you. And he
Smart
kind of
child.
goes and positions himself between these two chairs, like a small wooden fort, as he like puts one in front of him and then one turned back, kind of with the back to it, and he's now kind of crouched behind the two chairs.
Sure to trip and everybody else be like, I told you I shouldn't have gotten that card.
Oh my
Okay.
goodness.
The two
I was
little
trying to be
girls
playful.
playing by the dollhouse. You hear one of them say, "No, that doesn't go there. I've told you before." And then they start pulling each other's hair and it seems to be quite a violent scuffle. But Madame Velasco doesn't either is ignoring it completely or doesn't seem to be or is aware of it, because she's kind of marching rather sternly over to the table where Jeska is positioned himself behind his little chair fort.
The hair pulling is which kid is it?
These two kids right here.
Okay. Oh, they're like blurry. Okay. I'm gonna like be like, here, whiskey, come on. I'm gonna go over here with whiskey and just be like, perhaps you two need a break. This is a very friendly dog. He is very strong.
Okay. Let's see here.
Maybe you can play a different game with him.
He
likes
likes,
fetch.
he likes fetch and dress up.
So
He does love dress up.
you said you've got a passive perception of 21.
Yes, I do.
Okay. So as you kind of like bring the dog in and crouch down, you notice that one of the little girls playing with the dollhouse has a series of like splotches and bruises all up and down her arm, like noticeable, serious bruises.
Oof.
Now, but during this time, Madame Velasco, she's gone up, she's, "Now, Jeska, they were sent by Father Lucian Petrovich just to check on you. That is all. I don't know why you are seeming so scared." And, upon saying that, he seems to be more scared. Like, he definitely doesn't seem very happy that you're here and been sent by the priest. What do you
Yeah,
want to do?
this is the most difficult political campaign I've ever played.
It's very full.
Octavius, why don't you go talk to the kid?
Yes, of course.
No, Doug, let Octavius.
I'm just standing here.
I'll walk up and kneel down in front of the boy.
Okay.
You need to kneel. Sorry.
Yeah.
So rude. So what if he doesn't?
All right.
Yeah.
He just kind of like looks at you with a very kind of like blank kind of white look on his face.
Yeah. Boy.
Yes.
We have
I'm sorry. Tell Father Lucian Petrovich I will be back to work tomorrow.
Of course, we will deliver that message. But first, I have a very important mission for you. One I can only entrust with someone who is worthy of such a heavy mantle upon their shoulders. Is that something you think you can handle? It would be our secret.
I don't think so.
Are you sure?
Let me
Here.
think.
I'm gonna put my hand out to him. Grasp my arm.
Okay, he is noticeably not eager to do that. He's like,
Yeah.
like, you know, he pulls his hands are by his side, but then when you say that, he like pulls his hands all the way back, like to
Yeah.
try to make them even harder to reach, like it's gonna matter.
Please trust me. I will not bite. This will help.
What are you going to do to me?
Have you ever wanted to be imbued with courage?
Is that like be brave?
Yes. Have you ever wanted to be brave?
Sometimes.
Well, let me give you a special power that will let you be brave in times when you are scared. How does that sound?
I don't know. Give me a persuasion check.
Okay.
Come on.
Let's see.
Because the idea is not altogether unenticing, but he is terrified of you all.
Yeah,
so.
of course, of course.
Let's see if
Persuasion.
you can be persuasive enough.
Ooh. Oops, that's performance. Not that it matters because they're both zeros, but yeah, I think it'll make a difference. Nope.
Okay. It's like, but I don't know. It might hurt. And I have been warned about people with strange powers before.
These powers are not strange. They'll make you feel brave and strong like a big boy.
So Madame Belasco is going to look at you and she says, I'm not so sure I'm altogether okay with you casting spells upon my children.
Madam,
That's what you're talking about?
Madam. And he's going to spin around quickly and kind of get a glint in his eye.
Okay.
and give her a wink and say, please, madam, would you care to be my lovely assistant?
And she kind of like looks over at Douglas at this point, like with a...
Father.
Yeah, he's very good at it.
Good at what?
Just he's got some this cool trick. It makes you feel really courageous and
He's not going to give us drugs, is he?
no, of course not. No. Just trust us. We came from the church.
Fine. She kind of holds her arm out.
Octavius will grasp it like this.
Okay. She's like, whoa!
And yes. No, I mean, not hard. He's not
No, but it's
ripping
like
it
when
out of her.
when he like grasps it,
Sure.
she's like supplies and she doesn't like pull away, but she's
Yes.
kind of a little bit surprised by the sudden.
Sure. Madam, I need you to close your eyes.
Okay.
Yes. Now envision yourself envision someone on the top of the highest mountain peak you can imagine. They've trailed weeks to get up there.
Ooh.
They've braved the elements
Oh, I don't like
to
that.
reach the pinnacle of their journey. Do you see that person?
Yes, I'm not altogether happy with heights.
Oh,
But, yes,
Imagine
I see them. They're
now-
standing up at the top waving at me
yes.
like, "Whoa!"
Now imagine that person on the banks of a calm shore.
Okay.
The birds are chirping, the fish are jumping,
Oh,
people are swimming, everything is fancy free.
I see.
Now,
yes, that's definitely nicer. Much
Now,
nicer.
now, imagine that person is you.
It would be nice. I mean, to be away from all of this hustle and bustle of yelling, screaming little children and...
Now, madam, and he's going to look over at the boy. How do you feel?
She kind of opens one eye. Somewhat disappointed that I'm not actually there. But, it's a lovely thought, for sure. You painted a very nice picture, young man.
And does it make your heart swell with joy?
If I was in different circumstances, probably.
If that's not a ringing endorsement, my dear friend, I don't know what is.
He says, so you just want me to close my eyes and you're going to tell me that 1 minute I'm up a cold mountain and then I'm on the lake? I just heard you tell her all of that stuff.
Well, what if I told you that you could position yourself in a giant banquet hall with food as far as the eye could see?
Oh, please, as long as it is not eggs.
No eggs around. Chickens do not exist in this world.
Well, so I have to close my eyes?
Close your
May I
eyes.
close my eyes?
Focus. Grab my arm.
chickens, no chickens, no chickens.
Yes. Grab my arm. It's a very important part of the
I had a
process.
chicken.
No, you did not.
Sorry.
It was just another bird.
Okay. Well, he hasn't reached his arm out, but he's kind of relaxed his arms a little bit, and now his
That's
eyes are
fine.
closed. He's not going to see you grab hold of him.
That's fine. That's fine. Now, imagine you're the only boy in this room, and you have your pick of any food on the table. There's salty, there's savory, and of course, there's sweet. Delicious delectables, all for the taking, all for the choosing, all for you.
It's a huge plum pudding.
Yes, of course. Plum pudding, figgy pudding,
Delicious. Lovely.
shepherd's pie,
And,
apple pie, pumpkin
and
perhaps.
some candy, joy. Oh.
Yes.
I am getting,
Especially
now
the
I'm
candy
getting
Jojo.
very hungry.
Jojo.
I'm so hungry now.
Oh my god.
I want a clam bake. Jesus.
Now, Yeska.
Don't we all?
That's the color I use.
Now, Yeska, aren't you feeling more peaceful, more at ease, more centered?
Yes, but also very much more hungry.
Hunger comes from the center, therefore you are now in touch with your true self,
I see.
Yeska.
And now what?
And now what? Now,
Where's the trigger?
my dear boy.
Where's Rachel?
Now, my dear boy, we need you to help us find a particular item that only you
This
can
is
help
plum
with.
pudding.
If there could be plum pudding involved, if you help.
I can almost smell the plum pudding now.
What if I told you if you helped us with this mission, we would get you some plum pudding?
So what is this mission you need me to help you with?
Our mission is bones.
Bones? I don't know anything about the fucking bones! And with that, he leaps back, and Belasco's like, Yerska, your language, child! I'm sorry, Miss Velasco, but I don't know what they're talking about. Please make them go away. I don't like it. Oh, you're disturbing the boy now. What is this talk of bones?
Well, I tried.
Okay, we are gonna go. We are gonna need to see his room, please, because he's stashing some bones somewhere.
Stashing bones?
It's official church
I'm not.
business.
It's a lie. It's a lie. I
He's
have not
clearly
got any
lying. Look at
bones.
him.
If you just let us take a look, we'll be on our way. We won't disturb any more.
He does not have a room of his own. He sleeps with several other of the older boys.
Well, lead us there, please.
I don't know I shall do that right now, but what is this they're talking about, Yeska? Now, you tell Madame Velasco at once. What is this nonsense about bones? I don't know what they're talking about, Madame Velasco. Really, I don't. I have no clue. I don't know that I believe you entirely, Yeska. Something is not right here. You stay here, my boy. Do you understand? Stay right here. He walks back and says, perhaps we should go to my office and have a more private discussion. Away from the other children. I don't want to upset them.
Sure. We just to be clear, we don't want to get him in any trouble. The church said he's not in trouble. It's just investigation. Very light, easy investigation. It's not a big deal.
Well,
At all. He's not in any trouble.
understand if my charge is stealing bones from the church, I would think that is quite serious.
No one said he stole the bones, just that he might have some.
And where did he get these bones from, then?
I mean, yeah.
And why are they such a big deal?
Like I said, they are not, but I am not at liberty to say.
Yes, again,
It is
I think we
official
should go
church
to my
business.
office where we can speak more candidly.
Yes, why don't us adults go and the children, all the children will stay here.
Fine.
Where it's safe, right? Okay.
What category do I fall into? Because I like to imagine I'm a child at heart, but I'm also starting to grow a beard.
I guess it depends whether you follow your parents or whether you stay here by your choice. You decide.
Yeah, I basically just boom it out, and whoever.
I'll stay here. Kids have better imaginations.
Okay.
All right, she leads you across the hall.
Okay. All right, children, stay here. I'll be back. We have the adults have to speak together.
Right, the adults.
Yes. So only the adults, Gemma.
I'm on my way.
Okay. Gemma, I need you to go with your brothers and try to find the bones.
What? Oh.
Just hurry.
Ah,
Okay, we'll keep her busy. Go on.
ah.
So as I sit down before Douglas enters, I'm just gonna say to her, "Man, I'm really hungry too. You know, we had some great pie. Too soon.
I'm not
So,
ready.
So
Hey,
maybe some leftover eggs. Maybe some leftover eggs available.
No. That's no.
So while you, while the brothers Grimm have Madame Belasco in her office, what's everybody else doing? So it looks like Gemma is wandering the halls, and I'm assuming you're about to pop through this door here. Is that your game plan?
Yeah.
Yeah,
Okay.
I'd be, if I'm able to, I would be starting to search as well.
Yeah, I was
Okay.
just going to tell him to help search. And
yeah,
then I
I'll
was gonna
go
talk to
upstairs.
The kid again.
Okay, so
Oh, actually, I lied. I'm gonna go to. I'll go to these kids out in the hallway,
okay.
and I will ask one of them. Do you happen to know where Jessica's room is? Can you point it out to me?
And he kind of like leans over and then like tries to point up the stairs.
Okay, I'm going to stealthily as I can go up the stairs and start investigating up there.
Okay, so you're going up the stairs. Gemma is going through that side door. Trip is going to have a chat with the boy. Okay, so we'll start off with Miss Belasco in the study. So she says, "Now, what is this all about? This Yeska and bones and all of this stuff. What is all of this? All sounds very strange to me."
Well, you see, Seth has a perfectly good explanation for it.
Also, if you will, both of you give me a perception check.
Thank you, Christy.
You're welcome. Perception.
Okay, yep.
16.
Okay, so both of you notice here, above the mantle, is a little wooden plaque to where there is kind of like about a 2-foot-long wooden dowel rod. And underneath it, burnt into the plaque, it says, Mr. Whippy.
Oh.
Of course it does.
Okay. So, she says, "Well, you must elaborate. What's going on?"
Okay. Thanks, brother.
You're welcome.
The church apparently lost a body of
What?
bones.
And you think that Yaska is responsible for this?
Well, we think he might know the location of the bones because the church is no longer consummated.
Concentrated.
God,
Condensation.
I feel the idiot
That's-
here, Christy.
So you've come to
That's the
ask
one.
him if he knows the whereabouts of these bones.
Yes.
Yes, the priest asked us if we could just
Ask him.
not accusing him of anything.
Well, I would accuse him, but not the others.
He's not in any trouble. He just.
I mean, he might be a little trouble.
He might have saw something. Maybe he saw something.
Well, we will find out, won't we?
No, well, see, we want to do it in a discreet way. We were instructed.
We will bring him here to my office.
No, well, I think we should just maybe talk about some of the methods you use here.
What way?
My eyes are going to keep darting behind her to the mantle, and I'm just swallowing hard, just like, well, ma'am, in my experience, raising three children and one adopted, I will add. I'll let you guess who. I find usually a gentler hand can get the job done.
I see. And how many children do you have, sir?
Three of them.
3. Oh, so not quite 18 then.
Well,
slightly less than 18 children. Of all different ages, from 6 months old to 16 years old.
Yes. I understand when you have a lot. Efficiency is definitely helpful. But as I said, my children are, they're pretty wild. They got their own minds and they like to push my buttons for sure. And so, there's been times when I've sure wanted to give them a pop. But I don't always think that's the best.
I understand your sentiment. I do. I understand. And she kind of like points behind her. She says, and I do not use the rod lightly, only when it is absolutely necessary. But sometimes you have to understand, we live in a very dangerous place. And sometimes the children, especially the older ones, can be a little too spirited. And sometimes you have to make sure that they understand that they mustn't do certain things. And the only way to sometimes get through to them is, unfortunately, as I said before, you must not spare the rod.
Okay.
I do not do it. I do not beat any of the smaller children. I do not do that. And I only use it when absolutely necessary. But it must... it has been weeks since I have had to get Mr. Vippy down from his perch.
Okay. Just, to your point there, when you were saying you use it to teach them to have the fear of danger, I'm wondering if maybe they're a little too scared of the danger, and that's maybe why this guy's not sharing what he knows. Maybe he's too afraid to say anything because he'll get in trouble because of that. So maybe, just maybe, if we just don't hit him,
if we bring him in here and tell him if he doesn't tell the truth, then Mr. Vippy is going to take a short, sharp trip to Bottyland.
Well, yeah, and you see that just teaches him to lie, so that he doesn't have to ever have a consequence doesn't match the action.
Are you sure you do not want a job?
I'm trying to get home and get my kids to their mother, who definitely would have a lot to say to you about this as well. So
how about I bring him in here and you can show me the methods of how you get these children to tell you this information.
Right. Well, I think if I were to do that, it would need you couldn't be here, because that the fear of you is what's claiming him up.
I'm sorry, but I'm not about to leave you unattended with one of my children to discipline them or try to get information from them.
Oh, my brother's here?
Relatively...
I don't think that helps.
Seth, come on.
Also, he's not your kid. He doesn't live here, technically. He wanders around.
Here. He lives at the orphanage. It is true, being one of the older boys, he sometimes wanders around the village during the day, and he does volunteer work at the church.
See that right there? He's a good boy. He doesn't need such a firm hand. I think just maybe a little bit more encouragement would help.
Well, again, if there's information that you can get him to tell you, then we'll bring him here and you can talk to him. But I don't think it should be done, especially in light of the fact that we are discussing dead bodies and bones. It should not be done in front of the other children.
You're right. My little one got a little little overzealous there on the delivery of that
Yes, he
interrogation.
is quite a spirited child, that one, isn't he?
Yep, that would be
Very
the
over an active imagination.
Oh.
yeah, I'll say. You have no idea. But yes, he's Seth.
Yes. Well,
I was just thinking about using Mr. Whippy on
would
him.
you like
That's
me
all.
to go
No,
and fetch
excuse
Jeska
me.
so you can talk to him?
No, let's just if you could tell me more about this orphanage and yourself.
No.
How you've
Go
been
get him.
No, Seth. No, I don't think.
Doug.
Well, if you
Douglas.
wish to know about these bones, I mean, how else are we going to find this out if we don't get him?
Okay,
Yeah.
well, how about I go get him? Just me, and I'll bring him over here. You look comfortable back there.
He's not likely to follow you. You see, all my children have been told not to go off with strangers, and
But I've got the dog, so he'll maybe with whiskey he'll just follow me and the dog just into the office. If I just tell him that you've requested him, he's not gonna get scared that he's coming into your office, right?
Why is it such a problem for me to go and get him? You seem rather...
No, there's no problem,
Listen,
right?
I'll
Seth, there's
just-
no
I'll
problem.
just go get
There
him
wouldn't
then,
be a
okay?
problem.
I won't be long. You can stay here. I'll just be a moment.
Okay.
While all that's going on, so during that time frame,
Yeah.
so let's talk to Trip. So, Trip, what are you
yeah,
doing?
I'm just gonna kind of like, I have my instrument kind of out just as like a curious thing.
Not Mr. Whippy, is it?
No,
Sorry,
no, it's not Mr. Whippy. It's Mr. Cordoba, and he's, so I'm gonna kind of have it like out with me. I'm not gonna like.
Oh,
play or
if you've gotten that out, then a lot of the kids are going to start chanting, "Play a song, play 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 a song."
Okay.
Yes,
Wait,
play
maybe
the
in a bit. Just really quick, I want to you. I'd like to apologize. My brother's been very brave, and he's had to face a lot of things. And I understand you're currently in a similar situation. I'm sorry if he scared you at all. He scares me sometimes. He's just a very odd one, yes?
A little intense.
Yeah, little. Yeah, he's small. Perhaps he's your size. I shouldn't be so rude. As it was, we're currently facing something very, very large and very scary. And no one's upset with you, but you are facing possibly the same thing we are. And I would just like to know if we have a common boogeyman among us, yes?
A boogeyman?
You seem to be frightened of something, is all I'm saying.
Only that a large group of people came here saying that they're from the church and asking me questions, and I do not know who you are, and I haven't done anything wrong, and don't know why you're all mad at me.
We were told that you might have a friend or someone who asked you about something you seem not to know about, but we just need to know who that is.
Okay, again, at this point he has gone noticeably white, and his fingers are kind of like... He's acting very, very nervous. I do not know what you're talking about. I don't know what you mean.
And that's okay. That's okay. You'll be all right. You see, we're under a bit of a false pretense here. Me and my friends, my family rather, we hunt monsters. We fight things written about in scary stories. Some of the children we brought here were entrapped by such said monsters. We like to think we're a force for good. So if you're in trouble, you can let us know. And we
I'm
might
not in
be able to
trouble.
help.
I haven't done anything.
Right. But sometimes people are in trouble whether or not they've done anything to deserve the trouble that they're in. The world can be a scary place, and we are working to make it less scary.
I don't know what you're talking about. I haven't done anything wrong.
Right. I'm not saying you're in trouble for doing something. I'm just worried that you seem to be afraid, even though you haven't done anything wrong. And that might mean you feel that you're in danger. And I don't want you to be afraid of that if there's something I could help with.
Oh, well, I don't know what you could help me with.
You saw that big man earlier, right?
It's very scary.
Yeah. Well, would
It
you
has
believe
very
me?
big muscles.
Yeah. Would you believe me if I told you he once punched a witch so hard that she fell down?
Witches? He punches witches?
He punches witches. In fact, so hard she didn't just fall down.
That is such a
She-
strange occupation.
Right?
Witch puncher.
Witch Puncher. That's a good song name. I'll have to make a song about that.
Witch puncher I used to know. Would be a great title.
Good, yes. But yeah, no, she didn't just fall down. She fell out of existence. He's that strong.
I see.
I get to hang out with him.
That must be fun for you.
Oh, it is. Sometimes he punches rocks. But only when he's really terribly drunk.
I see. Interesting.
And the other big, tall, meaty guy there, yeah? I once saw him shoot an arrow through a ghost, and it hit the ghost. It hit a ghost. How do you shoot a ghost with an arrow? You can't even touch the things.
I don't know.
Right? They work miracles.
See.
And I'm known to sing songs that make people feel better, which is why they keep me around, because sometimes they get scratched up a little bit, and I have to patch them back up. But
And how does this help me?
all I'm saying is whatever it is that you're afraid of, I think we could take it on. And then you wouldn't have to be afraid of it anymore.
I'm not afraid of him anymore now.
Him?
Huh?
I thought you didn't know anything. It's okay. You're safe with me. I'm not going to tell anyone.
Right, give me a persuasion check.
Okay.
Hold on, before you roll that, let me just do something.
Roll high.
Go, there you go.
Okay. I hope with all of my hope that all of this hope works out.
There you go.
Hey, 22.
Nice.
Woo! He is quite ill. So he is not going to hurt anybody.
Oh. So does he need help then?
Well, I don't know, but... You see, Milovic, he works at the church sometimes too. And he's always telling me these stories about seeing ghosts and goblins and in the graveyard, which I don't believe is true, but one time I did catch a glimpse of something very strange in the church. There was these bones all laid out underneath a cloth, a big velvet cloth, and I saw them, and it was like the bones of a whole man, and so I told him that I saw them, and that I'd seen them, and he had not seen them, and I was trying to make myself sound more important to him. And then a few days later, the bones disappeared. And he's the only person that knows. And other than that, but Father Petrovich seems to think that I took the bones. I told him I didn't. And he asked me if I'd seen or knew anybody else that knew about the bones, but I didn't want to say anything because Milva, she's much bigger and stronger and could beat me. And so I did not say anything because I did not want to be beaten by him. But now that doesn't seem to matter because he is very, very sick and he will not wake up.
That's not good at all. I'm known to sing songs that make people feel better.
Then play a song for all of us, because right now I need to feel much better, because I do not feel very good at all.
Okay.
And do I have any plum pudding or have some jojo?
And I'm gonna play my token song. I'm just gonna play Boulder of Scarrow because it's a song about a big hero who's all good and happy and such.
Alrighty. Right. Meanwhile, down the hall. So Gemma,
Yes.
you're going to slip through this door here, huh?
Yep.
Okay, let me reveal to you what you will see. I'm going to have to do this with polygons. And then okay. So you are going to emerge in this large room.
Okay.
So when you come in here, this appears to be a large bedroom. While modest, by broad standards, this room is quite nice compared to the rest of the orphanage. These quarters are spotless and meticulously organized. The furnishings include a large bed, wardrobe, a chest of drawers, and a table with 2 books resting on it. If you had to guess, this is probably Belasco's room.
Okay, I'm going to start. Even though I realize this is not the room, I'm too interested, so I'm going to start rifling through things like the trunk, her desk and stuff, or anything interesting outside of bones.
All right. So the bookshelves contain volumes chronicling the many residents of the orphanage over the years. It's like files on kids. So you can kind of
year.
Sorry?
Like, what's the earliest year? Like, how long does it seem like this place has been running?
She has been keeping records, it looks like, for about 36 years.
Okay. Gotcha.
Okay.
Any spell books?
Well, there was the 2 books that I mentioned that are resting on top of the let's see here. Where are we? Yeah, there's the 2 books that I mentioned were resting on top of her table.
Okay.
So the first book is called Toxic Parenting: The Hurtful Legacy of Corporal Punishment.
Of course there is.
The second one is called
Great.
Beyond the Morning Lord's Sight. If you want to kind of just...
Yeah, what's that?
give me a... let's see. How do we want to run this? Give me an investigation roll, and we'll see how well you can ascertain what's in the books from a quick perusal.
Okay.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
Yes.
So, at a quick glance, Toxic Parenting: The Hurtful Legacy of Corporal Punishment details several abuse practices in parenting children and the negative effects. Obviously, you could read the book at some point if you want to get more information, but that's what it's about. The other one, Beyond the Morning Lord's Sight, is a much thinner book detailing the basics of demons and demon worship, including the barest basics of the abyssal and infernal language. Give me a history check, please.
Wow. Okay.
Unless you speak abyssal or infernal, which would worry me.
Don't think so.
Okay.
No.
All right. Yep. That's pretty much all you can really find from that.
Weird. Okay. I'm gonna take that.
You know, take both books.
No, just the.
Just the
she needs
Beyond the
other
Morning
one.
Lord's Sight, the one about
Yeah, I'm curious. about
badness.
that,
Okay.
so I don't want to show my siblings.
Okay.
Yeah.
Other than that, rooting through in the chest at the base of the bed, you find several pairs of boots. Her wardrobe is full of clothes, much like what she's wearing now, and fairly meager possessions. In her top drawer on her bedside is a small, little, kind of like a little wooden box. It's not locked, and it has probably about 20 or 30 gold pieces tucked away in it. There is also a little ledger sitting next to it that meticulously details all expenditures. Every time she buys anything or whatever, every time somebody donates. And indeed, the most recent entry is that she was gifted 2 gold crowns by some would-be patrons. There's no name listed, but your donation it's in the book. So clearly, she keeps very meticulous records.
I'm gonna add our family name to that donation.
You know, he's just gonna whip out the pen and write in Mild Woods.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, that's funny. Okay.
And you swiped one of the books. Okay.
Oh shit. Once I realize that, I'm gonna put the book back, but note what the name of it is.
Okay.
And then
Beyond the Morning Lord's Sight.
Yeah.
Okay.
Check the closet.
All right. Okay. So you open that door, but it is not in fact a closet. It is in fact an ensuite bathroom with modest fixtures, couple of little cupboards, a bathtub, and a very small outhouse.
Okay. I will leave then and head back to the main area.
Okay. And last but not least, up the stair. Ba-ba-ba-ba-bum. Ba-ba-ba-ba-bum.
If I were bones, where would I be?
Right, let me reveal to thee what thee doth see. Okay. So you get to the top of the stairs.
Okay.
So what do you find? The second floor hallway has 6 different doors. Let me make sure that I've revealed enough so that you can see
Yeah, I don't think I can see.
all of the doors because I'm a little... There you go. Now you can see them all.
Still can't see anything. I don't think. Unless I'm looking at the wrong spot.
You're up a map.
I got it. Yep. Okay. Got it.
Yep, you're upper level. Most of which are left wide open. Only the single door at the northern end of the hall is closed. There is also a hatch on the ceiling at the southern end of the room. The hallway's only windows are on the southern wall. It's all boarded up. So this hatch here, there is no ladder, there is no stairway. It's just a hatchway in the roof, kind of like a attic. but way beyond your reach, my good friend.
What if I got on the stair rail here and jumped up and grabbed it?
So the way this rail comes up, really, it's only this top little part up the top here that would possibly be high enough.
Okay.
Which would be, hang on, kind of here, and that would be far too far away. So where it is, you're going to need something to stand on, something tall for you to stand on. It's an 8-foot ceiling, so it's right at 8 foot away from you. Based on your height, do the math.
Okay, so I can't do a little Jackie Chan move, kick off the wall and grab it thing?
No, it's there's not really much to grab hold of. I mean, there's basically a small metal loop that you could pull down.
Okay.
I mean, I'm not saying you can't be creative and figure out a way to do it, but
yeah. Okay. Well,
and as I say, and then this room here is closed, but all of these rooms all these doors here are all actually open.
Okay. Well, I'm gonna obviously try to go into the closed room first.
Okay.
If I can.
Of course you can. It's not locked.
Okay.
And let me reveal to thee what one doth see.
Okay.
Okay, you open the door. You have found, basically, the baby's nursery. As you wander in, there are 2 girls in there. Older girls, for sure, with the babies. The nursery contains 3 cribs, a chest of drawers, and an old stuffy chair. 2 babies sleep peacefully in 2 of the cribs. A teenage girl holds a 3rd baby and is gently humming and rocking some unknown lullaby. Another young girl sits on the floor and is reading quietly on a rug. They kind of look at you, and one of them goes, "Oh, must be one of the new boys that came in this morning.
Yes, that is correct.
This is the nursery. You mustn't come in here at this time of day. We are trying to get them to take their morning nap."
Of course, I'm new here, so I don't know where exactly to go. They told me I would be bunking in Yeska's room.
"Oh, then you are going to go to the room. Go out of the door. First door on the left."
Okay, thank you. Nighty night, sweet babies.
Okay.
And I'm gonna slowly back out.
Hang on. As you go to do that,
Uh,
the other girl looks up from the book. She says, "No, he said Yeska, not Jessica." "Oh, sorry. Silly me. That would take you to the wrong room. So you want to go past the stairs all the way to the left."
okay. Thank you again. And
Okay.
lullaby.
what?
Lullaby. Okay. And I'm gonna turn around.
Angry
and
Viking biker. What's up, buddy?
Gonna go to the door that they specified.
Okay, which should be this one here. All right. And it will open up
Okay.
to another room. Okay. So this is the younger boy's dormitory. The bedroom contains 5 beds, 4 of which are perfectly made and appear unused.
Okay, then I want to go to the one that looks like it's used.
Okay. Which would be these 3 here. Let's see. Or which, so you've got yeah, it's probably this one. Probably this one here.
Okay. I'm going to see a little footlocker, it looks like.
Yep.
All right, I'm checking the footlocker. I'm checking underneath the mattress. I'm checking in the pillowcase.
Okay.
Those are the 3 places I'm looking for, I don't know, something.
All right. Under the mattress, pillowcase, nothing there. You check the footlocker, neatly folded sets of matching clothes. However, tucked between 2 sets of clothes is a handmade shiv.
Oh.
Basically, you find what looks like one of those kind of split wooden clothes pegs.
Yeah.
and there is a shard of glass that's been like put between it and then wrapped with twine. So it's like a glass shiv.
Okay, I'm gonna confiscate that item, I think.
Consummate it.
I'm gonna consummate that item, consecrate that item. I mean, there's really nothing else I would think, and I think that's alarming enough. So I'm gonna go back down the stairs and wait for Doug and my uncle to get finished with whatever they're doing.
Okay, all right. Then let me move you. Oh, where'd you go? Oh, there you are.
Got me.
Sorry. Put you back down here.
Okay.
All right. Well, in that case, then we've kind of gone full circle. So all of that was about the same time frame. You're at the bottom of the stairs, just kind of here as this door opens and Madame Belasco comes out. She crosses the hall. Trip, you'll be aware that the door is opened, and she's just walked in. And she says, "Yeska, come to my office, please. We have to have a word with you."
I'm just gonna give him like a little wink.
He kind of like sheepishly, he pauses for a minute or two, or not a minute or two, a second or two, like he doesn't want to go. But then she gives him like a scowled, stern look. And then he drops his head, shrugs his shoulders, and wanders over to her.
Just tell him like, you'll be okay.
By now, Gemma's also come out of here. So you'll see her kind of march back across the hallway towards her office with the young boy in front of her. And she basically just walks him into the room and makes him kind of stand next to the table. She says, "Here he is. Right, Yeska. These gentlemen have some serious questions to ask you, and you better tell them the truth. Do you understand?" "Yes, Mrs. Velasco. I will tell the truth." "Very well, gentlemen. Ask your questions."
I'm gonna look over to Douglas.
Okay. No problem. I'm gonna come around and kind of put my hand out like on his shoulder a little bit, like
right. He kind of
down
like
on my knee.
he doesn't move away from you with his feet, but he does kind of pull his shoulder away like awkwardly. But if you just persist, he can't stop you, and he's not going to move.
I won't persist. If he shies away, I'll put my hand
Okay.
down. Oh, okay, no problem. So little sir, we like she said, we would really like you to tell us the truth. But if you don't tell us the truth, that's okay too. No one's gonna hurt you. You're not gonna get in trouble. We're just here to get to the bottom of things, and I think you're a smart kid, and you might know something about it, and if you do, we're gonna take care of it. So if you could just let us know what you know, and nobody will get in trouble, and we'll be on our way. And this nice lady here is she promised she's not gonna hurt you. And everyone at the church is not mad at you either. But we just want to know if you know anything. That's it.
Know anything about what? And you promise, no matter what I tell you, I'm not going to be in trouble.
That's right. That's what I said. And you can trust me.
Okay.
I would.
So
okay.
what is it that you want to know about?
So you might know something about some bones at the church, right? Some bones. I know.
I don't know anything about any bones. I'm sorry, I don't know about bones. Can I go now?
Just 1 second. When we asked about it earlier, you kind of reacted a little emotionally, like maybe you do know something about the bones, but
bones are
scared.
scary. Bones are scary.
Yeah, they are. They are scary. But we really need those bones. We really need those bones a lot.
I do not have any bones at all.
Well,
No.
you got bones inside. You got strong bones
Pulls
inside.
his pockets out and like holds his pockets open, like to show you he doesn't have any bones in his pockets. Not that he possibly could.
Okay.
He says, I do not know anything about bones, I'm afraid.
Do you know anything about anyone creeping around the church, maybe doing something they're not supposed to? Maybe they told you not to tell anybody, or something bad would happen to you? That's what we're here to find out. And I'm not going to let anything bad happen to you. So you can tell us.
I've seen that drunk man, Bluto. He often goes around the churchyards. He climbs over the fence and goes into the graveyard. I've seen him. Perhaps he stole the bones.
Okay, that's a good start. Great. See, that's being honest.
No, but I haven't seen him. It hasn't been around for a few days. But yes, I'm sure it was him. He probably stole the bones. Can I go now?
Yes, you can.
Wait a minute.
What?
We were just asking you if you knew anything about bones.
Yes.
And you're mentioning stolen bones. We never said stolen bones.
Give me an intimidation roll.
Oh, I wish my intimidation was good, but unfortunately
No.
it isn't.
You're a big, strong, strapping man.
I know, but my charisma's crap. No, okay.
Okay.
I'm sitting down, so
So
less intimidating.
But both of you can give me an insight roll.
Okay.
Okay. He's not caving. He just says, but earlier you were talking about the bones being taken from the church, and if bones were taken from a church, of course they would be stolen. Obviously, I assume they're stolen.
Yep.
But
He's
as
got a
he's
good
saying
point.
that, you can definitely, both of you can definitely see he had to like compose himself to come up with this branch of the lie, as his lower lip was like. So, while he didn't cave and give in to the intimidation, you definitely could tell. Yeah. But I think you already kind of sort of knew that he was full of shite anyway. Yes, but you need to be looking for the town drunkard, Bluto. He is a big, big fat man. Red face. If you find him, I'm sure he has your bones.
Oh, okay.
Can I go now?
Is that all you want to say? You sure you don't have anything else to tell dear old Dougie? I promise you could just whisper it in my ear.
No,
Nobody else has to hear.
I have nothing else to say.
Okay, young man.
This entire time, Belasco is like this.
I've appreciated your honesty, and I respect you, and I respect your desire to tell me the truth.
Thank you, sir. I wouldn't lie to you. You're a very nice man.
Yeah, that's right. You're a very nice boy, and I'm very proud of you. And you're going to grow up to be a great, great young man someday, I'm sure.
Hey, I hope I grow up big and strong, just like you.
Aw,
And you as well, sir.
oh, I don't know about that, but yeah, you know, I hope so too. I hope so too, little guy. You get on out of here, you little scamp.
Right, he comes skipping out the door.
Now, see?
All right, so basically, he'll come out. He goes skipping out the door, closes it behind him. So while that's going on, so Gemma and Octavius, are you both still in the hallway, or would you have done something else?
I would have found my brother and sister, but at the moment my computer's frozen, so just put one where I need to go. But it's still working. But I can't move anything on my screen, which is super annoying, and I don't want to restart my computer because we're getting closer to the end. So
Yeah. Okay.
yeah, I would have found Trip or Gemma, whichever one I would have run into first.
Okay. So yeah, we'll just say that
assume we'd all just
the three of
gather
you
at that
kind
point.
of you all knew where Trip was, so.
You'd hear
He
me
was the
singing
one that
bullshit,
wasn't
yeah.
moving,
Yes,
so the
yes.
rest of you probably all okay. So you've all kind of like congregated together in the corner of that room.
Okay, yeah, I would say
And if you really wanted to get away from the kids, I mean, you could always kind of go all the way up here. There's nobody up in this.
yeah,
by
I wouldn't
the
have
back door.
wanted them to see that. So I think I would have brother, sister, come
Yes.
look what I've found in Yeska's.
It would appear this boy has spent We got two in the prison. I also found a bar of soup.
I found this in Yeska's belongings, and I'll show them.
Show him the makeshift shiv. Okay.
Yes.
Probably best that he doesn't have that. He is terrified of a local bully who stole the bones. So I figured it out. Local kid also works at the church. He's a bit bigger and stronger. So Yesko is afraid of him. Didn't want to get in trouble for something he didn't do, but also didn't want him to get in trouble because he's the only one who saw him there, and it would follow him back, and then he'd get a pounding from this other kid who's apparently sick now, which I would argue has something to do with close proximity to bones, perhaps. And what was his name? Shoot, I put it in my head. I was trying to remember the name of the kid that he said. And then as a player, it's been a long time, so I'm not sure anymore. He said it once, and I was like, he's not going to say it again. And I really tried to remember, Gore. I have a mental disorder.
I mean, for the player, it wasn't that long ago. So, his name was Milavash.
Milavash, okay. You'll see Trip light up with that, just like, Milavash, yes. That was his name. And I remembered it. Be proud of me.
Okay, so then Milavash is what our next target.
Target sounds a little violent. We're just gonna go find
Mark.
the kid. I'm gonna, say some nice words to him, make him feel better because he's probably dying, and we should probably get a move on. Gemma, what did you find?
I found a bunch of gold coins. I didn't take them.
Good.
Why did you
That's
attempt to
good.
say that?
Good.
Well,
Good. You
I'm
didn't
very
rob
glad
the
you
orphanage.
brought that up. Don't rob a mark of poverty. That would be really awful.
I thought about it for just a few seconds, but I realized that.
Yeah, and because you're always
I
looking out
shouldn't.
for our good, right? And
I thought
us having
maybe,
more money would be
yes,
nice, and
taking the
giving
coins
2
back.
gold, for what it's usually like what copper
Yes.
pieces. She was saying that seemed a little bit much, but I'm not gonna, what's done is done. But yes, anything else?
An interesting book called Beyond the Morning Lord's Sight about demons, which was weird.
What?
Oh.
Didn't take that one though, because I wrote my name in her room somewhere. So
Wait, Wait, what?
we'll talk about it later, Octavius.
I was going to steal a book, but then I stupidly left evidence that I was there.
So barring that, did you skim the book?
Yes,
It was just like about.
it's about something about learning about demons and worshiping them, maybe, or something like that.
Okay.
What? Okay.
So if that's happening here, these kids are in a little more danger than. Perhaps you should put the shiv back.
Well, another book was on the table that maybe proved that she was working on herself. So I'm not really sure.
Like using the limbs of children to like extend her life or
No,
something?
no, nothing like that. It was about corporal punishment and how it's bad. So
Oh, okay. Wait. Oh, so like working on herself, like personage.
yes,
I was under the impression you meant like. Okay, it's just nothing has ever been good here.
I think things are not okay, but
I think it's complicated. Yes.
yes.
It's another beautiful day in Valaki.
Octavius, what did you find?
What do you mean? I showed you already.
Oh,
The-
you're right.
Remember?
What did you find? What did you find?
Wait, what? Are you asking me? Because I
Are
just
you asking
told
me
you
again?
Are we asking?
Trip.
He just.
I figured everything out. I thought that was sufficient enough.
I thought you weren't exploring. Did you not go
No,
exploring?
I stayed in the room. I played a song for the kids to win some respect and favor from them. I
Not
talked to the
exploring.
kid. Well, yeah, I figured you were on it, and I know your methods. You're good at this. Don't let that get to your head. It's already there. Damn it. No, kids. Darn it. No, but I was just hanging out with the kid who was no doubt going to get taken to the principal's office and knuckles wrapped or whatever, and that wasn't going to get anything, so I figured I'd get in there first and figure out what's actually happening. So you just found the shiv, and you know where his room is now.
Yes, I looked for bones, but I wasn't successful.
Did you see any place bones could have been?
No, there were no bone zones in the room.
No bone zones, okay.
No.
Well then, suppose we should probably just entertain the children a bit longer. Wait for parents to get back. That way it at least looks like we're not terrible people, because I can't rest on the reputation that the other two are leaving in the other room. We're going to have to do something to make it look like we at least, aren't terrible. We left 2 gold pieces, that's some favor, but this place has kids in it. I can entertain children. I'll entertain the children some more. I don't know.
Okay.
Also, some concern, I don't know. My first impression of this place was poor. But when those 2 girls started pulling hair and such, the one girl has a really severely beaten arm. I don't know why. I didn't think to ask. Well, I didn't want to upset things. The one whiskey's over there playing dress up. There is something a little
Probably
stinky.
the corporal punishment.
Yeah, likely that.
What did you roll on that?
It was my passive.
So it wouldn't. So the number of bruises that they were was significant, and they were circular, kind of like round welts, but doesn't look like the work. If you're assuming that by the description of Mr. Whippy would be a stick or something like that, doesn't look like that's what did it. That would have left like long, thin, strappy marks. That was not this.
If I'm thinking that, then I don't think it was Mr. Whippy. Then it had the marks were not stick shape. They were like almost like a leech bite or like bad welts. Something else was happening there. I'm not quite sure. She's just giving herself hickeys all day. I don't know.
I do not know. Didn't see
Again,
anything else in her room that suggested some other type of tool or Mr. Whippy in there.
Seems they get low foot traffic through here, and she's not above corporal punishment. It's possible something more nefarious is happening here, given the book you found. This might be something to look into. I don't think we have the time for it now.
It could be, the last mansion we went to had secret basements and attics with all sorts of insane things in it, so could be here too.
All right. While you guys are doing that, so back in Miss Velasco's office, once the kid leaves the room, she looks at you and she says, I do not believe a word of what he told you. Do you?
Well, of course I do. You gotta believe him. That's part of it. It's it's a long game with kids like this.
Well, you might think so, but I'm just merely going to point out to you that when you told him that no matter what he told you there would be no consequence, why would he tell you the truth if he doesn't want to?
Because he has to learn that my approval of him does not merit, or it doesn't hinge on whether or not he is telling the truth or not. Sometimes kids lie, and that's okay. You gotta show them that there's a safe place.
If you're content not knowing about these bones, I am. I do not care one way or another.
I think we learned about the bones. We got the drunk to go look at. He's probably a bad guy, so
Bluto would. There. I don't believe for a second Bluto is capable of climbing over the fence, let alone grave robbery.
Well, do you think he
Doug,
is?
Doug.
What?
She's right. The kid was lying to us.
But maybe because he's still so scared of everyone coming down on him so hard, you know? He just needs a gentle
Maybe
hand.
whatever it is he is scared of, he needs to find some things that he is even more scared of to get him to tell the truth.
No, I don't think that's it. I think he needs to feel safe to be able to tell the truth so that he won't feel afraid.
The information is yours to decide whether you need to claim it or not, but I'm just saying in times like this, sometimes Mr. Whippy knows a language that we do not.
I don't...
And just merely the threat of Mr. Whippy may be enough. We don't necessarily have to flay the boy, but...
How exactly do you Whippy, then?
We are not going to whip this boy.
Well, typically, I have them bend over the table, and they get 3 or 4 sharp licks across the bottom with Mr. Whippy. The older boys, usually across the hand.
I think we just let him think about it and no Mr. Whippy for him. Okay?
Well, Doug, the threats is
No.
just as good.
We can't we just gave him just a little glimpse of what it could be like for an adult to not.
No. Hear me out.
Just
listen.
Start threatening him.
No, listen. I hold Mr. Whippy and be the threatener.
We are
bigger than her, so it's scarier. See?
No, I don't think.
And if we had oil, we could oil up my muscles so they listen. You know.
Wait, what? I'm not going to ask.
Sometimes
anymore.
you do that before a fight, to look more intimidating. So the creases show of the.
Oh,
of
I
the
thought
muscles.
it was so you were harder to grab, and they.
Well,
couldn't
that
get
I mean, smarter people would use it for that purpose. I did it just to look better.
Okay. Anyway, we are not.
But, I could oil my arms and hold Mr. Whippy.
I don't want you oiled or holding a whip anywhere near this boy.
Well, it's not a whip; it's a rod. I mean,
Okay, Mr. Whippy, or be oiled, and we're not going to threaten him. Let's just leave him alone. He'll come around in his own time. That's what works with my kids, and it'll work with him eventually. It's not going to happen overnight. That's the thing. You gotta start from here, and we're undoing years and years of
Dougie.
What?
It doesn't work with your kids.
What do you mean?
I'm sorry, but you have no control over those kids. I love you, bro, but you've never had control over those kids. We had your Gemma stealing from a mansion right under our noses, and Octavius, who knows what he gets up to? And Trip is, he's the most innocent of them. He's, like I said before, he doesn't have a sexual urge in his body, but that's beside the point of what I'm trying to say right now.
Bro, why you know that?
Well, because I go to bars with him and I notice he doesn't, flirt or exert himself, But you don't control them. They control you.
Of course I don't. They're my children. They're human beings. I don't control anyone. They trust me, and I trust them to do the right thing. Sometimes they don't, and that's okay. Listen to me, Cethric. Listen to me.
Cethric.
I am their father, and they love me, and I love them, and I know with every fiber of my being that when the time comes to do the right thing, they will, because I've taught them that. They've learned this. I don't need to control them. That's not the point. The whole point is whippy and control. None of that. That's not how you parent, both of you. I'm a parent. Neither of you are. Okay?
Excuse me. I have raised many
Raising
children.
them is not the same. These are from my loins, and I love every bit of them.
And I choose to volunteer to take care of these children, even though they are not my own flesh and blood.
I also chose to take care of one that was not my own flesh and blood.
I care about these children deeply, and I find it offensive that you would imply that I do not.
Then you take that, Mr. Whippy, and you throw it in the fireplace right now.
I will not. Some things
No.
are happening around here that are just unexplainable, and sometimes the only thing I can do to keep these children in line is to threaten them with Mr. Whippy. Sometimes there's violence that happens sometimes in this establishment that is far beyond what should be happening in any orphanage.
Where do you think they learn the violence from?
Each other,
wait,
I don't know.
wait, whoa. What things are happening that you, what?
I'm busy.
Yes, Doug,
I
what she said is weird. What are you talking about? What violence that's beyond this, whatever?
Let me ask you a question. I've become quite kerflumped.
Yes, I am okay with you and Mr. Whippy.
Just give me a
Personally,
moment.
I think
Give
it's
me a
fine.
moment.
So
Compose
you're not
yourself.
you're not being attacked or anything. Yeah. Okay.
I'm gonna turn away and just cross my arms.
Oh yeah. It's untreatment.
Believe me when I tell you, I do not like to use Mr. Whippy. I do not like to beat the children. I do everything in my power to avoid corporal punishment. I'm even studying a novel written about the very subject and about the wrongdoings and how it can wrongfully impact children, because up until recently it was never something that I ever really had to do, but there is something going on here. And I don't know what it is, but some of the children seem to have... They're getting hurt somehow, and I am convinced that it is something to do with older boys. And when my back is turned, that they are ill-treating the young ones. And then, recently, one of the oldest that stayed here has become very, very sick. And I'm at my wit's end as to what it is to do. Father Lucian Petrovich has come by and examined the boy and prayed over him, and we have talked to the apothecary, and she has given us medicines, and this has not done anything, and he responds to nothing. He is still alive, but there is nothing going on in there. He is out cold, and has been for days. Something is not right. I must get to the bottom of it. And unfortunately, sometimes, if the older boys are being entirely too boisterous, I have to teach them a lesson and keep them in line. So I have to take down Mr. Whippy and threaten them. And on rare occasions, yes, a few short, sharp whips across the backside is necessary. But I resent the fact that you think that I do this willingly or enjoy it, because I do not.
I don't actually think that at
He
all.
does.
I didn't say you enjoyed
All he's done
it.
is question how I've bring these children up the time he's been here, because he's raised three little children. I've got 18 of them under my roof right now, and I have raised many, many more in my last 36 years that I've been a mistress here at the orphanage.
Oh yeah, well look what's happening to him.
Oh, well, according to your brother, you can't even control 3, and you're going to criticize me because I know how to control 18. Ooh.
Well, they're not showing up with weird little bruises on them. Mine.
I'll tell
My
you
batch.
what, that
They're
one boy
bruiseless.
of yours is thoroughly disturbing. There's something wrong with him.
How dare you?
And
He is a beautiful, sweet
you
boy.
allow your children to walk around with weapons and armed. That small boy, he can be what, 3.5 foot tall, and he is loaded down with sharp, pointy objects. What sort of parent is that?
He's very good with them.
What do you mean good with them?
I
What do you
trust-
have him doing?
We,
What does he do with these weapons?
it's a dangerous world out there, like you said, and so my boys and my sweet
So-
girl know how to protect themselves.
My-
That's very important to
My
me.
rare and occasional deployment of a small wooden stick is contemptible to you, but your child running around with sharpened swords and all kinds of paraphernalia that could do bloody murder to somebody, oh, that's perfectly okay, isn't it? Because it's your child. Oh, yes, your children are so perfect. Well, I'm here to tell you, mister, that apparently this is not the case, because even your own brother can see through your weakness as a parent. You are weak. You allow them to run amok, and that is why he carries such
Hey,
weapons.
whoa.
Listen
whoa,
here.
Whoa,
Listen
no.
here. I'm gonna pop my chest out and just start getting closer. My babies are beautiful and smart and strong, and they've seen terrible monsters even worse than you.
But all of them have parents. The children that I am raised, all of them, their parents have either been killed or murdered or eaten. Horrible things have happened to them. They are all scarred for life. I but do my best to provide them a level of normalcy as I can.
So then quit scarring them more.
A scar across the backside will heal, but the emotional damage that could be done to these children if they're not kept in line could last forever.
You couldn't be more wrong about that.
Doug.
Seth, let's get out of here. I'm
No.
sick of this woman. I can't stand it anymore.
No. Go out, brother, and get some fresh air. Yeah, would you do that?
Fine.
Maybe have Chip or Gemma join you. You know, calm you down.
No more Mr. Whippy. I'm telling you.
Sure. Yeah. Fine.
That's the problem.
What? Yes.
I'm gonna turn on my heels and storm out.
Okay. Once you storm out the room, she's like, what an infuriating man.
He loves the little one. I do too. You know.
I understand he loves
and
his children.
he's
Of
protected.
course he loves his children.
And I know you love your children too.
But
that's very evident.
it is such a dangerous place. And if the children are not kept in line, if any of them do like they have done before and wander out of the gates at dusk, a few whippings across the backside is the last of their worries. They will be found eaten or half consumed by wolves or worse.
You don't have to explain it. I understand. But you did say something that made me concerned. If there's like an older boy doing something to younger kids, we need to find out, right?
Well, yes, that's what I'm trying to sort out myself.
So, how about we suggest that Octavius joins your rank tonight? Becomes a new addition.
Does it have to be him? He is so disturbing.
No, he is, but he does know things that, frankly, my brother and I are stupid.
How old is he anyway?
Well, some say he's 13. Some say he's 15. No one in the family really knows. No, he's like 13 years old. I think.
Very intense for a 13-year-old boy.
Yes, and Gemma is very smart too. Although she is honestly an adult, well, as far as I can tell. But they can maybe stay here tonight instead of the inn, like we would plan and investigate and find out. And the rest of us could either be on the property or near. We could try to find if one of these older boys is doing something to the younger kids.
But what would you do if you found out this information? And what makes you think that you can find this information out when I cannot?
Well, Octavius and Gemma, maybe Gemma could blend in better, be like one of the little ones.
Well, perhaps I did hear some melodious music earlier. Who was that? Which one?
That was Trip. That was well, he's definitely an adult. Gemma, I'm a little uncertain about. Honestly, I don't remember. But Trip is a performer. He has a lot of songs. Could probably be entertainment for the night. You know?
Well, perhaps what we could do is, if you are willing, yes, maybe he could entertain the children this evening, and as you say, the two smaller ones could possibly blend in, and you could just keep yourselves a little scarce. Perhaps loiter in one of the less occupied rooms, or in the kitchen or something.
Say no more. Kitchen sounds great to me. And I can get my brother on board with this too, and hopefully you guys could work out your differences, parenting.
Okay. So as you're standing outside Douglas, kind of probably taking deep breaths and calming yourself down from that terrible Belasco woman, another one of the small kids kind of like comes by and walks past you. Excuse me, mister. And walks into the room.
I'm so sorry. So sorry. I just gotta step out of his way.
Okay. Kid walks into the room. He's just a small boy. However, and this is right as we're going to leave it here, Trip, Octavius, and Gemma notice once this boy enters the room, every other child goes silent. They stop singing, they stop playing, they stop fighting, they stop reading. They just instantly clam up like some strange man just drifted into a Wild West bar, some dark, seedy stranger in a town that is full of nothing but locals. And it's like a weird, noticeable silence comes across the room. And that's where we're going to leave things for tonight. Ba-ba-ba-bum.
Yeah, but... Here. Just get that measure. Ah, dagnabbit. Well, time for a beer. Glug, 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 glug. Oh, hello there. It's me, Christy, your D&D dad. I'm here to do all the things that a good D&D dad should do. Like mow the lawn, fix some shit, drink a beer, and of course, roll lots of 20s. And if you like all this, can you pan?
Oh, sorry, Dad. Sorry. Yeah, you look good. Yeah.
You should check me out on Instagram and Twitter at Christastics. And if you like D&D content, check out my podcast, New Crits on the Block. Anyway, I love you, my children.
If you're seeing this, that means that I'm back to playing Mondays on How Reroll. My handle is Satchmo on all platforms, and if you follow me, then maybe I can...
We've been trying to reach you concerning your car's extended warranty.
Nothing!
Hi, is this my local zoologist? Yes, I'll hold. Hi, local zoologist. Yes, my name is Jane Ivana, and I'm looking for a snake that has a stinger. Yes. I'll hold. You don't have any? Alright, well, if you could look into it, you can contact me on Twitter at Jane on Twitch, that's with a 0. Anytime. Yeah, or you could catch me on my Twitch streams. I stream like once a week on twitch.tv/JaneIvana. Alright, I'll hold. Okay, thank you. Goodbye, local zoologist.
Hey everyone, it's the Snuggler. This year, Jane asked us to go quick on our outros, so I promise I'll go as fast as possible. You're just gonna put all my information on text on the screen, aren't you? Son of a...
Hey, twitch.tv/Shagget here, and I'm trapped in Barovia. I'm hiding in a dingy basement with some art, the art dingy basement, nothing like what you usually see on my webcam when I do streams on How Reroll. And I'm not hiding from Strahd. Believe it or not, he's a pushy Dracula knockoff. He doesn't scare me. I'm not afraid of him. I'm actually hiding from Gorebad, my dungeon master. He's out to kill me. I think finally surviving in 10 campaigns in Arconis throughout his stories, he snapped because of it. and because of that, he's out to really kill me this time. Contact me at @neb_convos on Twitter, please. Your support will help keep me alive, keep me on the run, keep my hope alive. I really need to see what happens to Radovan, Emlyn, and Alekma, and all my other characters that I've played. I really need to see what happens to them. I'm very curious. Oh shit, I messed up. I really messed up. I think he heard me. He's coming. See ya!
Hi there, I'm Gorebad, and thank you for watching How We Roll. If you'd like to keep up with us when we're not live on Twitch, you can check out our other forms of social media. Follow us on Twitter, @HowWeRoll. You can also follow our Facebook page. You can find the website at www.howweroll.com, and you can also find us on YouTube at, you've guessed it, How We Roll, for an absolute ton of additional content. Also, you can follow the dmblog.com for some DM tips, world building guides, and all things D&D related. Cheers, guys. That was a long walk. Okay, they said Shagget was somewhere here, and the door to where he's hiding was a blue door. So we gotta find a blue door, blue door, blue door, blue door. You're mine now, Shagget.